just want to take you through a few of the ordinances, and these are basically the guiding documents of the CA which allow it to operate. Go ahead and click in here. Let's see. All right. The index will just basically show you these, so don't worry about that. The decorum ordinance, this is basically saying that don't say anything vulgar, be formal, civil, because if you do say something vulgar or inappropriate, you will have the chance of being suspended indefinitely or until they believe the punishment is just. So just remember that. Be civil to other members. Respect their opinions. No one in Euro has the correct answer every single time. So don't worry about being right, though. We truly enjoy everyone's opinion. So don't feel pressured that your opinion doesn't matter and that this will apply to you in that situation. Don't worry about that. All right, so we'll go ahead and head back here. We have the awards ordinance. We don't really need to worry about this, but I'll go ahead and explain it to you in case it's brought up. Right now, this pretty much just outlines the order of the assembly, which is an award given to CA members and past members, past CA chairs, for an extreme amount of dedication to the Citizens Assembly, and they've really Mouse Bumples is a member of the Order of the Assembly, and it's just given to members that have gone above and beyond what the CA asks of them and have contributed an enormous amount. So you can kind of read how people are voted into that assembly. All right, here's a section that you really need to pay attention to. It's the procedures ordinance. This basically outlines how we do things, how we conduct business, how many members need to be in support of a motion before, or not a motion, in support of a legislative memo before it will go to a vote. So as you can see right here, just a short title. Qualifications, pretty much any citizen can, as I was saying before. You can draft anything that you think that Euro needs, maybe an amendment, new legislation that addresses just something. Debates can be made by anyone, and the debate period is open for 2 days. So from the point when the last, from the point when it's made, posted on the assembly floor, the chair may close debate after 48 hours. Usually chairs won't close the debate that quickly, especially if it's an active topic. They'll leave it open until there's no more comments, and they'll ask, hey, is there any more comments? And don't feel afraid that you can't comment anymore, because they're more than willing to extend the time frame. Make a motion to table. Yes, in tabling the proposal, it has different, I didn't know this, but it has different meanings depending on where you live. However, in this setting, tabling a proposal means that you're wanting to set it aside. You're not wanting to talk about it anymore. So you pretty much just say, I move to table this motion, blah, blah, blah. And then after you or whoever else makes a motion, then if 3 additional members of the CA agree with you, then they'll say second, third, fourth, and then from there it'll be carried and the motion will just be tabled and it'll be put aside. The chair will pretty much close discussion on it and it'll just be done. Also, the chair can pretty much call for a vote anytime. He doesn't need permission, so that's something to think about. He'll usually use his best discretion to determine whether or not to take something to a vote. Excuse me. Voting periods, this is pretty self-explanatory. It mentions certain things about runoff elections for chair that happens. Recently, it's happened a great deal. However, you really shouldn't have to worry about that. Usually the chair or one of the Supreme Chancellors will come in and explain what's going on and how elections will go. And basically, to run for CA chair, which is the head of this body, you basically, someone will call for, usually the CA chair will call for standing, and you just say, I stand. And then we love it if you guys can present a platform in the Oval Room about how you want to change the CA, what you want to see happen, and then voting will happen, and the first one to get a majority of the voting members will be declared the winner of the election. All right, and then if a proposal, legislative proposal in the Citizens Assembly succeeds in a vote and gets a majority vote, that proposal will move on to the Senate floor where it has the opportunity to actually become a law. So they'll look at the proposal, look at the discussions we've had in the CA, and they'll evaluate the proposal and make more changes to the proposal. Here's motions of no confidence. This is basically if you don't feel the chair's doing a good job, if maybe they've gone absent for days and you're just like, okay, this is enough, you can move for a motion of no confidence in the chair. And this will basically, after 35% of the voting members in the last election have agreed with you, uh, a vote will commence and a new chair will be elected. Here's just basic stuff saying it repeals the procedures ordinance from the last put together. All right. And then this right here is basically, you don't need to worry about this either. This is basically saying that if there's a grammatical error or something like that, it's not going to change the intent of the law or the intent of any of the ordinances, but we realize that we forgot to put a comma somewhere or something's misspelled, that we have the power, well, the chair has the power to go in and edit that. And so it looks much better and makes a lot more sense. Continuing, I'll bring you down here into this is the CA floor where all the discussions happen. Up here, the chair will pin topics currently at vote, like you see this one right here. Here's the act. People could say aye, nay, or you can abstain. Aye means you agree. Nay means that you don't agree. You don't think it should move on to the Senate. And abstain means that maybe you don't have an opinion or you're split in between, so you just don't vote. Abstain is pretty much like not voting. Down here, underneath of these pin topics, this is where where you can post. Like you just hit new topic, create a post for a piece of legislation, and like here's one, and you can just see someone posted it. They explained what it's about, and then down below, here I am blabbing. People can make changes to the draft, and people can cite their opinions about it. It's really great community to do that. And don't be scared if you really don't know what the law is about. It's okay. You can ask, and we'll be happy to explain what's going on, because sometimes even we're confused. So don't feel pressured by that. All right. These up here are subforums in the CA. This right here is where you can get access and talk to usually the chair will post stuff in here, and this is basically where you can see what the chair is up to or his deputies. Here is where pretty much the rest of the citizens talk about things going on in the Senate. And this allows them to have an open discussion about nominations by the president, the reviews currently underway, acts, legislative proposals in the Senate. This gives us a place to kind of discuss what's going on, and so the Senate can see that and take that into account when they're voting. Here is an education mentoring center where people will post curriculums that you can look at, and it'll teach you how to draft legislation, ways to make experienced legislators better. The publications, this will basically, it's like a review of the month. Look at this is very cool. And people will talk about what's happened. Here's the month in reviews. This is what it was before. And people would talk about what was discussed, maybe a new election, who's the new chair, etc., things like that. And yeah, that's basically it. And if you really want to see like where we've been and what we've talked about in the past, you can just go and here's an entire archive of everything the CA has ever talked about, mentioned, brought up, and that's a great resource if you're not sure whether something's been discussed or not. But welcome to the Citizens Assembly. I hope you guys really enjoy your time here, and if you have any questions, be sure to just PM me right here, Marnup. I'll be happy to take any questions, and I'm sure the chair and his deputies will be willing to take questions as well. So thanks, guys, and have a good one.